Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Amanda, also known as Mermaid Hair Donut Care, as in donut. Today we are here, finally. I'm filming this and I'm probably going to edit it and try and post it like either tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm filming this on the 16th of May and this is my April palette ranking. If that doesn't say how crazy my life has been in the past like 3 to 4 weeks, like I don't know what does, because I've had not any time to do anything. I've barely even had time to do makeup, which makes me so sad. But if you want to see how I ranked the palettes that I used in April, keep watching. All right, for April, I only used 15 palettes. If you've watched any of my other rankings, you know that is very low for me. I normally sit between like 25 and 30. I would say 20 and 25 is even like way more usual. But last month, I think I only used 18, and then this month is even less at 15. I have just been not able to do as much makeup as normal, which, like I said, makes me really sad. But I'm excited to actually finally get to rank these ones that I did use in April. And I think for today's the 16th of May, I think I've only used 7 or 8 palettes so far in May. So it's looking like it's probably going to go down to about an average of like 15-ish palettes, which I'm doing the best I can at the moment, really. And I'm just kind of having to play it by ear. Play it by ear? Play it by ear? I always thought it was play it by ear, but then it's play it by ear. Anyway, let's get into it. I want to preface this by saying I did use a lot of palettes that I absolutely love this month. So when I was ranking them, this was hard. There's not a palette in here that I don't love. I'll rephrase that. There's not a palette in here that I don't really like. I just have a couple issues with some. So those cause them to be lower. Also, my top 6 this month are like some of like 6 of my absolute favorite palettes ever. So that's exciting and keep that in mind. Okay, starting off with palette number 15. It's the ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette from the there's like a rainbow vault. I forget, monochromatic rainbow vault. I forget what it was actually called. But this is the purple one. The only gripe that I have with this palette, that I've always had with this palette, is that to me, there's only like one actual like purple in here. Like this one is kind of more purple, I guess, but like this is like the true like purple. The rest are like pinky purples. Like when I look at this, it's more of a pink palette than a purple palette. And I've always been kind of a little butthurt about it. I don't know why. It just has always bothered me. Anyway, moving on. Number 14 is the Honey palette. It's also from the Monochromatic Vault from ColourPop. It has a pressed glitter, which I'll probably never use again, but I still really love this palette. Like these shimmers are really great. These two darker like golden shimmers and this lighter yellow shimmer, they're so good. I really do like this palette. These two were actually used together in a palette bingo and they came out so good. I don't even know if I posted that. I'm pretty sure I have a couple random palette bingos that I filmed and then never posted. Because, like I said, that's just my life. So, I got another job. So, I'm working 40 hours like at my full-time job and then also working another like 10 to 15 hours a week at my second job, which is all nights. So normally, even when I didn't get to do my makeup in the morning for my full-time job, I would do it when I was done at night. But now I'm working like about 3 nights a week. So I don't get to do my makeup as much as I used to, which that's what makes me sad, is that I liked to do my makeup. Um, and now I don't do it as much. So, yep, there's that part. Okay, moving on. Number 13 is the Odin's Eye Sea Talk palette. I love this palette. Like I said, there's not a palette in here that I don't really love. I guess there's really not a palette. I love these two. Even though I do have a little gripe about this being more of a pink palette, I still do love them. So I take it back. I take back my revision. I meant it. There's not a palette in here that I don't love. Like, I do love this palette, and I did like a neutrally vibe with the electric kelp, like in just like the front half of the lid this month, last month, whatever month. And it was so pretty. I thought it was so pretty. So I was happy about that. Why is it down here? It was a little bit more boring as far as the other looks went, I guess. I don't freaking know. Every palette had to go somewhere. In my brain, that's just where that fell. Number 12 is the Odin's Eye Planet Spirit palette. I did a really fun, bright, colorful look with the green and purple in this palette, and I really loved it. Again, why is it down here? Because there were so many other good palettes that I used, and I only did one look, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to like question my own brain at this point. All right, number 11 is the Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Nirvana. It's the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there we go. This one, I can barely ever open it. Two, I can never say the name. And three, I can't even hold it open. Okay, it's heavy. This palette was definitely not my favorite. But I did 3 looks with it in April, and I loved them all. For some reason, like I still had like a negative like outlook on this palette. Like I didn't love it. I felt like I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't like on sale at Marshall's when I got it. But all the looks that I did with it were really pretty. Like they came out so pretty. So I'm not really sure what my issue with this palette is. Maybe it's that it doesn't really like inspire me like as much as I would want it to because it's so big and it has so many shades. I don't know. But I actually really did love the looks that I created with it. So I don't know what's my issue with that one. Number 10 is the Kaleidos Futurism 5 palette. I didn't realize I was using this and didn't realize it actually had a name, the Electro Turquoise palette. I've just been calling it the Futurism 5 palette this whole time. And, oh, that always falls out. Okay. So I absolutely loved this palette. It only has 6 shades. I used all 6 of them. I did 2 looks, and both of the looks were amazing. I loved them. The quality was great. The looks I came up with were great. The shimmers were great. I loved it. It's a little bit lower just because it only has 6 shades, and like all of my other palettes are more versatile. But I really liked it, and this is the first time I was using Kaleidos eyeshadow formula, and I'm now very sad that they discontinued all of their Futurism palettes. So I'm sad that I got into it and then they're not even available. So like just kidding. Palette number 9 is the Odin's Eye Jewels and Gem palette. I really like this palette. I like the look that I did with it. It was more on the green and blue side of the palette, which I really enjoyed. It was just like a pretty look. It was a little grungy. I really liked it. I really liked it. Yeah, that's it. I don't have much else to say other than that. Palette number 8 is the Odin's Eye Little Ghost palette. Now the look I did with this was like intense. It was purple, it was orange, it was blue. I added a little bit of teal from my blends palette, and it was to match a flannel that I had. It matched amazingly, but it was like intense. It was definitely not like an every single day kind of look, although I don't have any problems wearing like bright crazy colors like all the time. But it was not my best work. But I still really, really love this palette. So that's why this one falls at number 8. Number 7 is the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet palette. Now I love this palette. I love that it is, you know, pastels, perfect for spring. I did a couple looks with it. I did feel though that even the darker shades were a little bit just more like dusty than like actually like heavily pigmented like dark shades. Is that like a, I don't know if I've ever heard anyone talk about it really. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. If it is, sorry, but like that's how I felt. Like I felt like they blended out versus like staying the shade that like the color that they are. I don't know. It was very weird for me. But all the looks that I created with this, I really liked, and I used it 3 times, I think. So I do love the shimmers, absolutely love all the shimmers. Big Feelings is probably my favorite shimmer in here, but all of the shimmers are gorgeous. Like literally they're all beautiful. So I do really like this palette a lot. I like it for the pastel. Now, like I said, the top 6 now are like my top 6 palettes, like part of my favorite palettes of all time. Okay, so I feel like this one's a given though. The Bella Beauté Bar Pastel Garden Palette, which is funny that both of the pastel palettes came in back to back. I just love this pastel palette though. The mattes are beautiful. The shimmers are all just so special. They're all just so special, and I love them so much. I used it a couple times for mostly for shimmers. I feel like I definitely used I used a couple mattes also to blend some things out. I really just I enjoy this palette, and I feel like it's perfect for this time of year, and I probably will continue to use it all year. I don't really go based off of like season, but it's fun to use pastels in the spring when there are more like florally, like pastel-y things that happen in the spring. So this is also like a given. Blend Bunny Blends palette is number 5. I haven't hit any other pans, but I haven't used it that much. But I also haven't been doing my makeup as much, so it's like kind of hard to be panning something when I really haven't been doing that much makeup. But either way, it's still one of my favorite palettes, like ever. Number 4, I absolutely love this palette so much. The Oden's Eye Christmas Eve palette. This is absolutely one of my favorite Oden's Eye palettes in general. One of my favorite palettes in general. Absolutely love it. The shimmers are amazing. I actually used a couple shades this time around that I hadn't used. I used like some of the green and some gold, and I created literally like an olive green and gold look, and it was so pretty, and I was like, look at that, just another way to use this palette that I love so much. I just love the color story of this. I don't know, there's something about it that it gets me. Number 3, again, I'm just gonna say it for everyone, another one of my absolute favorite palettes like ever is the oh my god, what am I saying, Glamlight Barbie Dream Summer palette. I had to make sure I just said that right because apparently I can't say anything correctly. But I love this palette so much. I used this in a random palette bingo. I don't even know if I posted that one either. Oh my goodness. I'm a mess, but I'm trying to get myself together here, people. So, if I say it, I feel like that holds me a little bit more accountable to like remember to try and get all that footage together and edit it and post it, because like as of right now I haven't posted anything in a while, so whoops. But I love this. This has some of my favorite colors, favorite shimmers, favorite mattes. I absolutely love this palette so much, so much. Number 2 is the only new palette slash new brand that I tried in April, and that is the Ensley Rain Groovy Garden palette. So I did a review of this brand and palette. Did I post that at least? That should be already up. I don't even know anymore. But so I tested this out. I did a couple looks and I really, really enjoyed it. I love this kind of color story, the dusty roses, the dusty greens, even the dusty like terracotta corally colors. This shade Lava Lamp is so freaking cool. I absolutely love it. This shade right here is really pretty as well. Yeah, I just really like it. I want to use it again though soon and do more with the greens, I feel like. But I loved using it. I loved testing it. I'm so excited that I finally have something from Ensley Rain to try out because I've been wanting to try the brand for so long and I finally did and I get the hype. And then my number one palette for April, I want to see if anyone can guess it. Drop your guesses if you've made it this far. Drop your guesses because I want to see if anyone would actually guess. But okay, it is the Unearthly Cosmetics Don't Be Jelly palette. I think this was my favorite, like my number one in one of the past months. I don't know how long ago, but I'm pretty sure this has been my number one before. I just love this palette. I absolutely freaking love this palette. There's something about the shimmers, there's something about the matte. I don't even know what it is. Like I'm obsessed. I'm pretty sure I used this with my blends palette in April, but like it's just this, the shimmers are so good. Like I did 3 looks with this palette that I loved. I can't remember if all 3 were in April or not. 2 might have been in March. Either way, I just love this palette and the looks I get with this palette are so good. I've not done anything with it that I haven't loved and I just am so excited to like keep using it. I'm also so excited to continue to try Unearthly Cosmetics palettes and I did just get 3 of their palettes that were on like super sale. Let me know if you want me to do a review slash testing of those because I would like to do that because I really do love Unearthly Cosmetics and I love everything I have tried from them. So I would love to continue that. If you've made it this far, I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to follow along on my makeup journey. I would love for you to like this video. It helps so much. And I would love for you to follow my makeup journey on here, on TikTok, on Instagram. It is Mermaid Hair, Donut Care on all 3 platforms. Have some patience with me in the next coming months. I am trying my best and I'm also trying to adjust to a new job, a new life, a new schedule that I'm still not quite used to. And I have been a little lazy because by the time I actually have time off, I'm like, I want to just sit on the couch and not do anything. But I'm trying to be better about actually filming and doing my makeup when I can, just making time whenever. So if you have any tips on time management, because I'm not so great at that, let me know. But I hope you enjoyed this. My little like outro is that I have so much makeup that there's always more. There is always more. I'm not sure when what's coming. So, but I do have a ton of makeup and there is always more. So I would love for you to keep watching. Bye.